This is No BS Nutrition. Why our hormone imbalances might be affecting your weight loss. Well, I'm gonna get straight to the point. I'm not gonna go into scientific facts like Andrew Human does, which I love his channel, but I'm pretty much gonna explain it as if I was talking to a beginner who doesn't know science, who wants to answer straight on. Hormone imbalances can come in many factors, many ways, many things. You could be a lack of sleep. It could be your diet. We about to go on top of that. It could be low libido, low test, low estrogen. It could also really be other factors than those three things that people expect from a hormone imbalance. Really, most likely is your diet. You might not gain a lot of macronutrients. It's the truth. Sorry, you don't want to hear that you're not eating enough vegetables, but maybe that cheeseburger is not very micronutrient. Besides the point is hormone imbalances does come in many factors, like I said, but it mostly probably comes from a lack, not supplementation, but micronutrients. So you want to make sure you get your minerals. Your vitamin D is a major one. We don't go outside a lot in this society. I remember when I was little, I did have bad sleep scheduling, but I realized that looking back, I was inside 24/7 most of my day, having a lack of vitamin D. That's why I was sleeping during class. Now, since I'm a teenager, I can supplement with these things. I can see throughout my years of living and supplementing with vitamin D, magnesium, and zinc, I saw that I did needed those macronutrients, minerals. Um, but you do not want to supplement if your diet's not even in check in the first place. Supplements are when I believe if your diet is in check. If your diet is not in check and you're eating like total garbage, then you have no reason to supplement other than the fact that, like, other than vitamin D or if your doctor recommends it. Um, what I would say is eat more clean foods. Don't get rid of all processed foods because obviously you crave it. We are human beings after all. I still want processed foods here and there, but I do make the healthier versions of it, or I still get it but eat less of it. That is the little tip. Don't restrict yourself, just eat less of it. If it's a trigger food, maybe don't eat that, but make a better version. If you let yourself just to go for it, okay, go for it. But if you know that you don't want to, but you know you're gonna crave it, but you really don't want to do it at all, then just don't do it. Like, make a different version. If it's if you're trying to eat it because you're stressed, then that's a stress problem, not a food problem. You're just going for that thing. This is not about food, it's about hormones. Really, you want to check your sleep. That's most of it. Your sleep plays an important part of your metabolism. If I'm not getting 7 hours of sleep one day, and 7 hours of sleep in the under, and getting 6, 5, 4, of course I'm not going to burn as many calories. Not because I'm more awake, because my metabolism will slow down, my thyroid will slow down, my fat burning will slow down. I might be more tired in the afternoon, so I won't move as much. I probably tend to crave more foods and binge eat because I am stressed. My body's in stress mode from not getting a lack of sleep. My hormones are not in check. So you have to consider the fact of sleep, your diet, especially when you're on a diet, not on a diet, but I mean like on a calorie deficit. You want to make sure you're getting your macronutrients, hitting your macros, you're hitting your vitamin C, vitamin A, everything. At least a little bit of everything if you can, and if you're lacking a little bit, then maybe supplementation. But when you're in a calorie deficit, you want to make sure your hormones are in check, or you won't be having the maximum weight loss that you want. Fat loss, not weight. I don't like referring weight. Weight is the total mass. Fat loss that you will like. You actually might be a skinnier, flabby version of yourself if you don't eat protein, for example, that keeps muscle and builds muscle. If you don't eat fat, your hormones are not in check, and you will just be a skinnier and flabby version of yourself. Strength training is going to help with hormone output as well. So if you're working out, eating enough protein on a calorie deficit, you will lose fat faster. Just because you're moving more, you gain more, you're building more muscle. Well, calorie deficit, you don't really, it depends how much body fat you are, you will build muscle. Calorie deficit is just the purpose of keeping how much strength of you got and as much muscle you have. That's why I think a calorie deficit is. It's not going to make you any stronger, depending what body fat you are, of course, and it differs. But You want to make sure those things are checked. Your diet is a major part in your sleep. That's what I really recommend, is your diet and your sleep. If you're not getting more nutrients or anything that you're lacking in that plays a severe role, like fats, for example, you do not need carbs. We can survive without carbs and just eat total fats, but a lot of people like carbs because of energy increase and, of course, just energy, and it's delicious as well. But fats, you want to make sure you have a decent amount of fats. It's about maybe 30% of your total calories. Divide that at least 30, maybe, so, or 25%, maybe more, honestly. So you want to consider that factor in your calories. Yeah, but this is really not a science-based type of hormones. This is just basic knowledge of hormones, and it works a lot. You don't really need the scientific facts of like, oh, you're on glutamine, or you're like, I love those. I love hearing that, me personally, but you guys don't want me to talk for an hour straight about glutamine and estrogen and testosterone. But really, just make sure, get a blood work test if you can. I know it might be expensive, most likely $300, but if you can get it, at least, especially if you have insurance, trying to get it. If you're a teenager, you might have insurance like me, so you could get your blood work. I recommend it every 3 months, or at least if you're an adult, every 2 years. 2 years, that's pretty good. Just make sure your hormones are in check. You make sure you eat enough nutrients, and make sure your diet is on check. So, there's hormones.